Good morning. Okay, so today's episode is brought to you by my wonderful friends and neighbors who have provided me with this raised bed, which and the materials to fix it. It is a little rundown, so today I'm going to be tearing it apart and fixing it and getting it back up and running. So to start out, we're going in and removing the liner, which is a thicker weed cloth that holds in the soil for the raised bed. And I'm just removing all the staples in this so I can pull it out. Boards are all broken. I'm just removing all the boards that are broken and putting them off to the side, clearing out the debris and cleaning it out so I can replace them. I gotta climb in here to get the farthest board over. So I've got it torn down. I'm gonna remove all the screws now. But I want to see how big one board would be to see how much I need to cut. It looks like what was used was cedar fence posts, so I'm just using some here to replace those that were used. And I also have to replace this center support. I've got thinner ones that I'm using for the outsides, and they don't quite fit in certain areas, so I had to cut them down just a hair. And I'm just dry fitting it in to make sure that they fit. I've got one board in there that I thought was going to fit the last thin board, but it didn't. So I just pulled out that board and now I'm spacing them evenly with a little bit of a gap between them. And now I'm just taking a look and seeing how it looks. Now I've got to pull it all out and measure for the center support. it was a bigger gap than I had anticipated, so I was just checking to see that it was in fact the same size as the sides. And then I'm pulling up the table. I'm putting some supports underneath the bottom part for when I'm pushing down right here. And now I'm taking a board just to support that center rail while I put it in place, screw it in place on the other side. And then I'm pulling that out. Now I'm leveling it. I didn't care that it was super level, but I wanted to make sure that it was mostly level. So I'm just putting some stones underneath, just checking to make sure that it's enough. Is that I'm gonna start by using it for putting all my plants that are in pots over here. I'm contemplating using half of it as a raised bed, and then underneath I want to put shade cloth and put my little makeshift greenhouse underneath in order to make sure that they're getting shade. I think they're getting a little bit too much sun in the afternoon, in the late afternoon, and so I think that's what's been killing a lot of them. We'll see. This is just an experiment and my current plans. So I'm taking that center leg, marking it out, cutting it, and then putting it into place. Then I'm installing the side cedar planks. This one's the center one. I wanted to make sure that it was in the center before screwing it down. And then I got the far side boards, screwed them in. And then the closer boards, placed them and screwed them in. Just measuring. I wanted to put some rails in the middle to split up the two sides. So I took 3 of the smaller fence rails and put them in here. And then I'm putting all the trees and cuttings that I've been working on, bringing them over to one side and placing them in there, removing them from my table so that I have use of my table again. And then seeds that I'm working on. So there you have it. My little raised bed that I'm gonna have my little projects on. Maybe I'll turn one side into an actual raised bed, but right now it clears up my tabletop, so I've got a tabletop to work on and just gives me a place to store it for easy watering and care of the plants. Thanks for watching.